Hello Internet, my name is Alex and this is Polygamy, where we believe multiclassing is a perfectly reasonable relationship model. In our intro episode, I talked a little bit about polyamory, and that's what I want to get into today. So we already established that polyamory is when you and your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, husband, or whomever is allowed to have more than one significant other so long as everybody involved knows and consents to the agreement. It's kind of an umbrella term used to describe lots of types of arrangements, and so I'm here to try and help break it down. In our last episode, I mentioned polygamy as the practice of a man having more than one wife, which I've since learned is actually called polygyny. Polygamy is the practice of having multiple spouses, which makes it kind of an umbrella term encompassing both polygyny, having multiple wives, and polyandry. Polyandry is where a woman takes on multiple husbands. Now, polygyny would be one man taking on multiple wives. Oftentimes, these wives are expected to act as sexual partners, emotional support, romantic partners, friends, and, well, everything you would expect from a monogamous partner. Polyandry will often take on the same or a similar model, but instead is one female marrying multiple men. Now, this isn't exclusively the way polygamy works. Some people, when they get into a polygynous relationship where one man marries multiple females, the females will also have romantic or sexual attraction to one another, but oftentimes it's that they are the sexual romantic partner for only the male. It's important to note that in the US and most other countries aside from Iran, Iraq, South Africa, and a few other exceptions, it's not legally recognized for one to have more than one spouse, and in some countries, living with multiple non-legal spouses is considered bigamy. Moving on from there, we have open relationships, which is where two people are in a committed relationship with one another, but are still allowed other sexual partners. It's important to note that not everybody handles open relationships the same way. Some people have somewhat of a don't ask, don't tell policy with one another. Other people use open, ongoing discussion, and kind of everything in between. The important thing here is to know your limits, what you can handle emotionally, and be able to talk about it. From there, we have a type of polyamory called polyfaithful or polyfidelity. Polyfaithful is a lot like a monogamous relationship, but has three or more partners. All members share the emotional, sexual, friendship, and romantic relationship with all other members, but no one outside of the group. Keep in mind that while all members share the connection, that not all share them in equal measure. So just because you don't have sex with somebody does not mean you cannot share in a polyfidelitous relationship. Now, some polyfaithful groups are okay with sharing the sexual relations with people outside of the relationship, but it's a lot like the open relationships we discussed earlier, and it's not really for everyone. Some people in the polyamorous community like to use letters or shapes to describe their type of relationship, such as a V, where one person is with two separate people, but those people are not with one another. Then there's the M or W, which in words can be kind of confusing, but as you see on screen can be kind of simple. Lots of people use different letters, numbers, shapes, and symbols to represent the relationship. It's important to note that all of these relationships in some way are unique, so if you're interested in joining one of these groups or interested in somebody in one of the groups, it's best to talk to that group or individual. Another type of polyamory, which many people ascribe to, is called relationship anarchy. Relationship anarchy is more or less when the letters, numbers, symbols, they're just not enough to describe the relationship. Celeste is with Locke and Edgar, Locke is with Setzer, Celeste, and Tara, Tara is with Locke, Edgar, and Cian, Edgar is with Celeste, Locke, Tara, Umaro, Mog, and essentially everyone else in the cast. Except maybe his brother. Maybe. Anyway, a person in this kind of relationship tends to prefer a focus on their own individual freedom and autonomy, preferring that if you want to be with them, you approach them, and if you want to connect to any of the others in their relationships, then that's on you. People who focus on relationship anarchy see each part of their relationship as individual and separate. Last but not least, I would like to talk about solo poly. This is to say, someone who identifies as polyamorous, but is not currently in a relationship. Solo poly does not get enough love from the polyamorous community, in my opinion, and can get just plain ignored by lots of people. People who identify as polyamorous do not have to be in a relationship in order to be poly. It just means that they thrive on a relationship that allows them to have more than one partner. When getting into a relationship with someone who identifies as poly, be sure to talk to them about what they want and know what you want so you can both clearly outline what you're looking for. Honestly, though, that's the main point. When you're starting a polyamorous relationship, or really any kind of relationship, communication is key. Talking about what you want and listening to what your partner wants without harsh judgment is the best thing you can do to be sure in your relationship. I could go on for hours talking about types of relationships and proportions of gender, weight, lifestyle. But at the end of the day, if you and your partner cannot talk about what you want, things will not work out well between you. Okay, guys, well, those are several different types of polyamory. Tell me, which do you find the most appealing? Is there any that you want to know more about? Leave a comment below, and don't forget, if you liked the video, to hit the like button. And if you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe for more updates. In the meantime, this has been Alex with Polygamy. Love you, and goodbye.